Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this Saturday, February the 10th. And again, we welcome Brownsville Radio into our part of our Outdoors with Larry Ray team. And, of course, in Jackson, Tennessee, News Talk 101.5. And, of course, our flagship station, as we can now say, Greg Ratliff, the show producer, ESPN 790 here in Memphis, Tennessee. But we got a guy on the line right now. He's a happy man. I mean, he's a happy camper. I know it's just been sounds like yesterday to him, where he stood on that stage and sweating it out, and 10 minutes to go, in fact, in the tournament, and he lands a fish that would be 2 4.5-pound fish. I mean, that's big fish, and we're really happy to get Tim Fredericks on with us this morning. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Hey, here in Memphis, Tennessee, we're doing great. We love to talk fishing. Just talked to BASS, talking about conservation. Let's talk with you, man. I mean, literally, this has got to be to start 2018 like this, because you're going to put 2017 behind you and put when you got started in 2016, and to do what you did, buddy. Tell our listeners what it's meant to you to win this first tournament of your career.
Well, that's a long drawn out deal, but it honestly it means the world to me. You know, especially like you were just mentioning back when I started on tour in 2016.
Yeah, where'd you finish? Where did you finish?
Dead last.
Dead. I don't know where they got that superstition. Dead last, but he finished last. So
yeah, I finished last at Okeechobee.
Yes. That just doesn't sound possible, Tim.
I've had a good track record at Okeechobee, you know, throughout the little trails and stuff in Florida. So I had a pretty good practice that year. I was kind of pretty confident going into it.
And then last year you cut your teeth. You got into 7 tournaments.
Yep.
And then this year, I'm looking at your your rank right now is number 1. Okay, you got 200 points, right? Okay,
yes,
you
sir.
got 1 turn of fish. You caught 20 bass. You finished in the top 10. You finished first, exactly, and won over $102,000. Has it changed your life?
Well, yes, it has. It's lifted the weight off my shoulder, you know. Everything now is gravy, so it kind of took some pressure off of me. Listen, I'm still hungry, and I want more.
Oh, that's what he told me this morning.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the year. I mean, to start off the way I started off, I mean, you can't start off any better. And the beautiful thing about it this year is, you know, my second tournament is in my backyard. I live here on the Harris Chain, and I'm coming here again.
Well, that's pressure. That's pressure. That's pressure, buddy.
Yeah, they're adding pressure to me because they want to see if someone else can go 2 in a row like Mark Rose did last year.
Right. Well, and what you're, I'm sure, concerned about now, Tim, is trying to do well to make a cut in all of the tournaments so that you can qualify for the Cup. And
you're exactly
the big
right.
Money, right?
You're exactly right. You know, last year I had a good year. I mean, I considered it a good year.
Yeah.
I missed the Forest Wood Cup by 7 ounces or 7 points, however you want to make it.
Oh, my.
That's it.
Yeah. Finished 43rd last year, and I didn't realize it was that close. Oh,
yes, sir. Yeah.
Now,
I could have told you, I promise you, 'cause I was keeping up with it.
Of course, Tim, you are our Memphis hometown, one of your sponsors, and that's Strike King. But tell our listeners the waters that you were fishing, because this will help a lot of the fishermen in our area here, because our water isn't that clear where when you're looking for bedding fish, you can see them. But there at Okeechobee, the water was stained because of all the rain, the wind, and everything else. But how did you fish for those bedding fish there in the stained water?
Well, I'm kind of used to it being from Florida because we got a lot of stained water, and I kind of know how fish, when they spawn, how they set up on different pieces of cover and what cover to look for. Well, my bait of choice, I like to use that Strike King, the 7-inch Ocho.
Yes.
And also the 5-inch Strike King shimmy stick.
Well,
I don't know what it is about them stick baits, but I guarantee you in Florida it's won more money than you can possibly imagine.
And on the Ocho, you're fishing it pretty slow, or are you
real slow?
Or are you waiting
5 minutes on a cast? He said down there.
Well, that thing, you just you were doing it weightless too, weren't you?
No, I was using a 3/16 ounce tour grade tungsten Strike King.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just like watching paint dry, but if you know what I feel for the beds, and people laugh at me. I've had people say there ain't no way, but I do. I can tell you where the beds are, and I can tell when my bait's in or near one, and I really soak it when I get to that point. When I feel that's in a bed, I'll sit there and I'll soak it, and I'll just kind of shimmy it. I don't really want to move it or drag it. I just kind of sit there and shimmy it and make it kind of quiver.
Right. That's too much patience for me. That's too much patience for me. I don't know how you can do that. And you said you were so stressed. Now tell our listeners, because this was, 10 minutes to go, and you got to go back.
Yes, sir.
And this 9-pounder said, "Hey, Tim, I'm right over here.
I want to get my picture taken."
Yeah. Tell us about that 9-pounder to Ian.
Well, I had just looked at my Garmin to see, what time it was, and I knew what time I had to leave to make it back on time. So I turned around and I hollered over to the camera boats because they were flying a drone. I said, "Hey, guys, I got to get out of here in 10 minutes to make it back."
Yeah.
So they were landing the drone, and I made a pitch to a reed head that I had probably fished 10 times throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them land this drone into his hand. So I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But when I turned around, I lifted my rod up, and I just felt that thud.
Oh,
there's a fish.
It was a heavy feeling.
Yeah. So when I a lot of listeners that fish, they probably know the sound I'm trying to describe. But when fluorocarbon screams through the water at a rapid pace, it makes this hiss. It just.
Yep.
Oh, I like that, Tim. That sounded just like it right there.
Oh, man. And I seen a flash of the fish, and I said, "Oh, my God, I'm praying at this point. So please stay pinned, stay pinned."
And your heart's thumping. You're about to come out of everything. And, things like this, you get it in the boat, and that just kind of begins. You got to get back, and we don't know what's going to happen. With Brian Schmidt right there with you. Of course, our guy Mark Rose is in third.
Or Mark, yeah.
Yeah, Mark's in third. He catches 79 pounds and don't even get first or second. So you and Brian, and you get to the stage, and I've seen that picture of you. What's going through your mind while you're standing there waiting for him to weigh it and see what you got that day?
Well, you know how fishermen are. We kind of sometimes, we're always accused of over-exaggerating stuff, and rightly so for the most part. But when you get in that weigh-in line, people kind of underestimate. So me and Brian, we had plenty of time to sit there, and Mark as well. We're sitting there talking amongst each other, trying to figure out what we got.
Yeah.
But we really don't know for sure, because
it's pretty close.
We knew it was going to be close between Brian and I, and
yeah.
Mark kind of told me, he said, "I'm out." He goes, I don't have what you guys got. So we sat there and talked about it, and Mark said the coolest thing to me. He goes, he said it to me and Brian both. He goes, that feeling you guys got right now? I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Boys, that's why we do this right here."
That's
he goes,
right.
"I want to congratulate you both." He goes, "Because this is a feeling you'll never forget."
And that's the way it was, wasn't it?
It sure was.
When you came in and got them in, well, I know your Facebook friends are going to be a lot more.
Absolutely.
Your life has changed. Just right now, you can say Tim Fredericks, and everybody will say, "Hey, that's a winner. That's a champion." And it's not something. How old are you, Tim?
I'm 48.
All right.
That is great.
That's
great.
I got a late start. I had to make sure my son. I was a single dad. I had to make sure my son got graduated and out of the house before I could actually try this. But now I can do it, and I'm not looking back.
Well, Harris Chain is coming up.
Yeah, Harris Chain and all your fans now. You're going to have a lot more rousing thing, and But we wish you nothing but success as you run into this thing, buddy. I know that a working dad. What did you do before you took up fishing, or has it been all your life?
Well, I've fished most of my life, but I mean, as far as the competitive tour level type stuff, the major tournaments, I built custom closets.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. The working man has come through, and I know Strike King, oh, golly, it doesn't take much to light Strike King's fire out there. Mark Copley, I said, I'm having trouble getting in touch with Tim. 5 seconds later, he's got Tim on the line, and nothing against the FLW folks, but so before we let you go, and Ron may have a look, we've got about 2 minutes here. What's your out? I mean, do you have a psych here? I mean, before you have a routine before you fish that you've done this now. You can win. What's going to be your psych when you head to the next one?
Well, at the Harris Chain, because I live here, I know it very well. I've been kind of keeping up with it, prior to the event and the off limits. So I feel pretty good. I'm going to go. Actually, I probably won't even pick up a rod and reel. I'll probably just ride and look at a lot of the areas that I typically fish this time of year, just to look like what the watercolor is and what the depth is.
Right. And then the wind tends to blow some of the vegetation around a little bit too, doesn't it?
It does from time to time, and I think we're going to be okay. If they're right on the long range forecast, I think we'll have some good days to fish. But
well, good luck on the long range forecast. Let's don't look too far ahead for them. Tim, thank you, buddy, for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and I know you'll see Ron down the road. And
I will see you, Tim, and I just sent you a Facebook friend requests, and I look forward to meeting you, buddy.
Yeah, I look forward too. I hope it's been a good week. If I get to talk to y'all too, in the next month or so.
Well, if we can talk to you next month, that'd be great.
We got your number. That's the thing about it. Yeah. Okay, Tim. Have a great day. Okay, buddy.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray on this February the 10th.